What's good, y'all? Andres here.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's RB3.
Sabrina here to talk about First Cut's Patreon. Yes.
That's right. Now you get to be a part of the First Cut community, as well as support us individually, RB3, Sabrina, and I, and get access to exclusive content all at the same time. What's good, y'all? Andres here.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's RB3.
Sabrina here to talk about First Cut's Patreon. Yes.
That's right. Now you get to be a part of the First Cut community, as well as support us individually, RB3, Sabrina, and I, and get access to exclusive content all at the same time.
First Cut really began with the meaning of podcast. That started with myself and Andres Cabrera way back in 2017.
A little over a year ago, they added me on, and what we really do is just champion diverse voices behind the scenes, in front of the camera.
Since we started our YouTube channel, First Cut to House Our Podcast, and we've been growing ever since.
This time last year, we crossed over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now we're just a few hundred away from hitting 4K.
With access to more monetary resources, we're able to hire another editor, we're able to hire more help, and we're just able to promote the show better in general.
So let's run down exactly what you would get on the First Cut Patreon.
You get access to the First Cut Discord server, and we're really excited to be able to have another platform to engage with you guys, to talk about whatever. We're gonna have so many different channels.
Now, our next tier is going to be our colorist.
Video essays are a promise that we made at the very beginning of First Cut that we never really had the opportunity to live up to until today.
And the next tier is visual effects.
Now, we've always wanted to do movie commentaries here at First Cut, and we finally have the opportunity to do it.
Up next is our sound editor category.
And this tier includes everything from the previous tiers, but also a monthly Patreon exclusive live stream. And the next tier is the post-production supervisor.
We are making this tier our access point for our behind the scenes content.
Next up, we have our composer. You get to be in a virtual hangout with RB3, Sabrina, and I. That means you officially get to hang out with us.
And then, of course, we have the final tier, which is the director.
You could be a part of the First Cut crew occasionally on this tier, where you can actually be a part of some of our episodes. If there's something that you're really passionate about that you want to talk about with us on the Meaning of Podcast, this is the tier that you want to be at.
We are starting Patreon so we can expand and produce more content for you guys to enjoy.
I'm super excited to see what 2021 has in store for us, which is why this First Cut Patreon is coming. And whatever way you can support, please do. Again, it's patreon.com/firstcutstudios.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to a Talk on Titan. We are back talking about a mega episode. As you guys saw there, obviously, we have a Patreon. Please go subscribe there, Patreon at First Cut Studios. But right now, we are talking about Attack on Titan. I'm here, obviously, with Ben Goddard, as always. Ben, what's up, man?
How we doing, man? It was a long 2 weeks, but I remember thinking on Friday, I was like, oh yeah, it's this Sunday. So I am so ready to talk about this episode, and I thought I was ready for this episode, but boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, this episode really played with your emotions, man. It really made you feel like, all right, you know, we're doing this. We're doing the whole handshake. We're doing the brother thing. You know, we're putting this stuff behind us. You know, Tybur is out here like, you know, hey, King Fritz wanted peace. He didn't want war. This is all a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
All we got to do is just, you know, come together and let bygones be bygones.
Oh my gosh. I never thought David Fincher would take a lesson in building suspense from an anime episode, but everything about this, like, can this be nominated for Best Director for the Oscars this year? Because, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, almost every episode of Attack on Titan, I've talked a lot about Warrior and Midnight Sun, but those are some phenomenal, well-told, well-directed episodes of TV. I think some of the best we've ever seen. And this low-key was an echo to Warrior from Eren's POV, where Eren pulled a whole, you know, I always mispronounce it in Japanese, but as a warrior, Shinsoste. And he heals up and he's like, I'm a warrior and I'm going to kill all of you. And I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, it was
Damn it,
Eren's turn. Eren woke up that day and chose violence. Like,
yeah, damn it.
Like, and that's the thing is that I was right there with you. I was like, where is Tybur's speech going? And then he started like just spitting facts. Like, okay, like he started with the propaganda. He started with well, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go like
Dude, let's do it right there. Let's go to Tybur's presentation.
Let's go to Tybur's speech, because that was the one thing that I kept like watching over and over again, because there's a lot of information. But he started with like the propaganda of it all, where the Eldians ruled the world. Then they ruled the world so much they started fighting with themselves. And I tried to pause that freeze frame with the people on stage fighting, and you saw the card titan. I saw the guy with the shield on his back. I couldn't pick out what the other titans were. Like I couldn't like tell like, oh, there's the colossal, there's the attack, there's the female. And then he's like, but that was a lie. All this was a lie. There's no was it Helos? Yeah. Was that his name? There's no Helos. There was no Marleyan superhero that single-handedly beat Fritz. Fritz wanted peace. Fritz exiled himself and the other Eldians to Paradis, built the walls himself with tens of millions of colossal titans, and that's why when the four warriors went over there, that's why when they collapsed the wall, they didn't find the founding titan. They were never going to find the founding titan because he was never going to appear, because he was just like, we deserve this. Like, we did all the Eldian people did all these terrible things, and now we're reaping what we sow. But now, and that's when it turns. That's when it turns like, but now, because Eren Yeager has taken the founding titan, now Paradis is, for the first time, Paradis is actually a threat.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole idea of what we got back in season 2, where it comes to what happens when you pass down the founding titan within the bloodline, is that you're overwhelmed with the thoughts of your ancestors, or with the perspective of your ancestors. So you have to do what they say, almost like they live inside you, which is why, not Dinah Fritz, the daughter of the
Historia?
other Fritz. No, the sister of Historia. I forget her name. I'm sure
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't.
But her, that's why she was, going like this, where she's like, I can't control it. I have to, stay inside the walls and keep doing what we're doing, because that's the only way we can maintain peace. Otherwise, it's another Titan war. But now that Eren has the founding Titan, and he's all about war, and he's Mr. Attack Titan, Mr. Wreck Shop, Eren does not want no peace. And I really thought he was going there. I mean, they really drag it out where they're like, I've been living with you guys. I've been eating with you guys. I met Falco, such a nice young man, and then he's like, but you're all going to die. And I'm like, no.
And it's what we said. It was the X-Men First Class thing.
It really is. It literally is.
Peace was never everything you guys have gone through. You guys are my cousins, basically. We're all the same people.
Yeah.
But you killed my mom.
Yeah.
And that was it. And just like that smile when Reiner's like on his knees saying like, no, this was all my fault. And man, is Reiner just like a selfless person, where he's basically saying, no, this was me. Annie and Bertolt wanted to turn back. I did this. Like, he knows there's people in those apartments, chilling. Please don't transform and kill them all, which Eren does. Jeez. But and Eren just like shakes his hand, and then, oh my God, that's one of the like, I'm so mad this moment came after one of our favorite moments, because this might be in my top 3. Just having someone shake your hand and then transform and just murder an entire block of people, basically. Let alone, the people in the crowd, just the people in the building.
Yeah, straight up top 10 anime betrayals. Shaking your hand and then transforming into a Titan. That was pretty epic, I can't lie. But when he had his hand cut, he kind of made it seem like, this is my, warning thing. It's the Joker with the grenades in his vest kind of thing, where it's like, you can't kill me, because if you do, I have a bomb in my pocket kind of thing. Dead man switch. I'm
ready to go. It was like a dead man trigger. Like, you hold it, and if you kill him, lets it go to the trigger. It's literally that. It's like, if you try, I'm ready to go. There's not going to be, like when they grabbed Annie, luckily she had like her little ring to do that, but there's not going to be any of that. It's just like, I'm ready to go. Don't even try it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they really made us feel a lot of feels with this episode when it comes to, eating my mom. Why'd you have to do that? Why'd you have to come this way? Reiner was like, my bad. We could have ended this whole thing if, I just stayed back, and maybe Tybur would have made the speech, and maybe, everything would have been the same and nothing would have happened. But it's one of those things too, where it's interesting when it comes to this whole thing back in season 1, where Reiner breaks the walls, Marley sends those forward warriors, and it kind of reignites this battle that wouldn't have been reignited if you really think about it, right? If you really think that Tybur would have been the one to say, hey, let's stop this whole thing. Like, what if Tybur said this and Reiner and Annie and all of them didn't go over the wall? What if he said, hey, let's just leave him alone? You know, Rod Rice, the king doesn't even want to, not Rod Rice, but King Fritz doesn't even want to fight. Let's just leave him alone. I mean, obviously, maybe that's just me being a little bit too, easily manipulated, but maybe
2020. Like, honestly, like and that's the thing, is that you risk. It's kind of the realism about it is just like some, governments are always so afraid of, like, we can't tell people the truth. Like, well, the truth would be that no one's really a threat and Marley can, wage its wars. But I think that's how Marley like makes all of its money, is through like, war profiteering. And so the government doesn't want to, because then there'd be no drive from the people. There'd be no controlling the Eldians. That's the thing, is that like they control them through these war camps and through like constantly probably thinning out their herds through war, by putting them in the front lines, like constantly over and over again. So I don't know. I just don't know. I wonder. I honestly thought Tybur was going to get pulled off stage or something like that while he was saying all this.
Yeah, so here's my thing, man. Obviously, let's just get into it, man. The real world kind of echoes and ramifications. Obviously, if you guys been keeping your eyes open anywhere around the world, you saw the storming of Capitol Hill and the insurrection that took place of a couple hundred domestic terrorists that are Trump supporters that declare allegiance to Trump, basically decided to take that. To me, man, it's one of those things where there's been a lot of discussions where it comes to like, hey, what do we do? And I'm just like, hey, this isn't okay, and we should make sure it's not okay. And there really is a lot of discrimination when it comes to people of color, and especially Black people who have been targeted and attacked by the police. So my issue is like, I don't necessarily want to, this is fiction. I don't want to make that a real thing, because I feel like that's not necessarily the right thing to do, even though sometimes it is an echo of it. I still feel like, in a way, man, like Marley can't keep doing this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marley can't keep like putting people in internment zones and being like, yo, we're living good, we're living free. Let's just keep, doing what we do. And it's like, we can't keep doing what we do, because then we just, keep falling into the same trap. So that's why I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes, I think at least a lot of people gotta go. And I don't necessarily mean like all of Marley or the Eldians or like blow it all up, but I do feel like a lot of people gotta go, especially people at the top. Sure. Yes, there's gotta be some sort of reset. Like, bomb to go off. And if that's Eren like blowing up some Marleys, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe obviously, guys, I'm not a manga reader, so I don't know what's happening or what's going to go on. But my thing is like, Marley can't keep doing this shit, bro.
No,
like, it just can't. It just can't.
And I think, even Eren knows that too. And that's the thing, is that like, man, was Eren was the soldier that trapped Pieck? Was that Armin?
I mean, that's what I was going to tell you, but I guess we're jumping around.
We're jumping around. We always jump around.
Let's pull up that image, man. I have it given to you. I called it Tybur Soldier. But that Tybur Soldier, it took me 2 watches. The first watch, I was like, that's a Tybur Soldier. The second watch, I was like, wait a minute.
The eyes.
Is that my skinny boy, little boy Armin, who's now a tall, lanky dude? Like, is he now like did he grow a foot?
He must something in that colossal titan. They say it must be something you ate.
Yeah. So at first I thought it was just a random like maybe guy they paid off, or maybe one of a Tybur soldier who's just betraying them. But then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. It has to be someone with Eren. And then I realized, like, all right, who could it be? And then I heard the voice, and I was like, that's a light ass voice. Like, he's got a very like light voice.
Yeah, it sounds like a person with a light voice trying to do a deep voice.
Yeah, so exactly. And then I was like, definitely not Jean. Definitely not Connie, because Connie's not that tall. So I was like, the only one left is Armin.
Yeah.
Is it Armin? I think it is, man. What do you think?
I think so too, and I don't think they would have sent. They might have sent Mikasa in there just because she can keep her cool, but I don't think they would have sent. And granted, this is 4 years. We've seen the change in Eren and how cool, calm, and collected he has become. So maybe that's the same thing with with Connie and Sasha and Jean. But I think they want one. If Armin's in there with the Colossal Titan, everybody's dead.
Yeah, you got a new
everybody's dead. Like, that's what I'm wondering, is that I'm surprised that Eren was the one to transform in that moment and not just and not Armin. And
well, I mean, yeah, but I feel like maybe. All right, let's just jump to the end, man. Did Eren look like he was trying to eat Mr. Tybur to get the Warhammer Titan?
Yes,
right?
He looked like he was trying to eat, like he was tossing him in the air, and
like literally,
like it looked like he was about to eat. But again,
we don't know if it's him.
I'm still convinced because they show all the Tyburs off to the side, and he's like, "This is my penance." I still think it's the bodyguard. Did you watch the after credits?
I didn't see the after credits, but I did see. It might be. Well, maybe you spoiled it. Maybe it is. Is it bodyguard? Did we get official confirmation?
We didn't get it official, but the next episode is called the Warhammer Titan.
Okay. No, you're right though. I did notice that, and I did notice the bodyguard. But right next to the bodyguard, and this is because of you, Ben Goddard, I saw the maid.
The maid, really?
Right next to it. So I don't know if you have it. You can bring it up on your own. You don't have to pull it up on the screen. But when he pointed to the side and he said, "I'm glad you guys are watching this," to the side of the stage, the bodyguard was right next to the maid, and I was like, "Oh, what if it is her? What if Eren, eats this guy?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing happened. Oops, it's not him." And then it's the maid or the bodyguard.
I think that's what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna eat Tybur, and I think I don't think they're 100% in on this, this one and done plan. I think they have plenty of backup plans for sure, but I think they're like putting a lot of eggs in their basket of like, hey, we think this is Tybur. We think Tybur is, the main Tybur is the attack Titan. So we're going to put all these eggs in this basket. And I can't really blame them for that because why wouldn't it be this guy? He looks like the Warhammer Titan. He looks.
You have it up?
No, not yet. I'll let you know. He looks like someone that would have this Titan, that would have this power, and he's the head of the family. He's like, so I don't blame Eren for and if not, you wiped out the head of the family. You wiped out.
Yeah.
So.
I agree 100%. I feel like Eren was doing his deduction powers and he was like, all right, it's probably him. If it's not, oh, well, we just ate a top dog. We just ate one of the homies who is in control of a lot of power. So let's just, take him out anyway. I think he's going to eat him. And I think he's going to be like, oops, not Warhammer. And then the actual Warhammer is going to pop up and have a fight.
Again, how powerful do you think this Warhammer Titan is?
I really do think he's GOAT level.
All right, so I have the image up.
I think he's straight up GOAT level.
See, this is what I'm saying. He's like, stand and watch. This is my atonement. And so you're right. The maid and the bodyguard are right there.
Yeah. So that's why I thought it was her. I was like, oh, maybe Ben was right. It is her.
It absolutely could be. It could be. I think it's down to those two. I think it's honestly a 50-50 shot of those two. Otherwise, why would they be off stage like that right there?
Yeah, and why would he point him out too?
Yeah.
To me, I definitely feel like Eren made a mistake with that as far as thinking he might be the Warhammer Titan. But either way, like you said, he took down a top dog. What's really interesting though is that Eren was 3 steps ahead of Tybur, which I thought was kind of a change, considering that we always see Eren be deceived and behind
and kidnapped,
and what's going on? Where are my hands? Kind of Eren, and it never seems like he's ahead of the game. But this time he did, when Tybur legit looked shocked, where he was like, "Let's do it," and then Eren pops out, and he's like, "Whoa, that's not supposed to happen."
That's the thing is that for half that speech, I'm wondering is does Tybur know about Eren? Does Tybur know that Eren's there? And honestly, up until the transformation, I didn't know. Like, even when he said, like, our enemy is Eren Yeager's like, okay, he's calling him by name. Does he know he's there? And then that just shocked look on his face.
I think he did know he was there, and this is why.
You think so?
I don't think he knew he was right next to him.
Yeah.
But Magath, Commander Magath, kept, with the binoculars, and he's like, keep looking. You guys see anything? No? Okay, let me know. And then he was like, what? Where are... I think that scene, because it was confusing me. I was like, what is he even looking for? I think that scene was supposed to be Tybur saying, hey, Magath, by the way, I think Eren's going to be here when I say my speech. Be on the lookout for him. I don't think he knew he was going to be right under him, under the stage, but I think he might have told Magath to be on the lookout and to look out for Eren and his gang. And then that's why Magath was like, oh, it's begun. They took my warriors because he kind of expected them to show up. So I do think that Tybur might have known that Eren might be there, but I don't think he necessarily knew that he was going to straight up come up from right behind him and snatch him up.
Do you think we'll get an episode about, like, do you think we're getting like a rewind episode and show how, Armin and Eren infiltrated the camp?
Do we have
Armin's in Marleyan uniform. Like, he's not pretending to be an Eldian. He's a Marleyan soldier.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see the plan was in effect for quite a minute if Armin was there as a Marley soldier. Yeah, I mean, as a Tybur soldier, right? Not a Marley soldier or Tybur? I think he's a Tybur guard, isn't he?
Did he have
But either way, it does seem like he's been there for quite a minute, which means that this plan has been in effect for a while. It goes to show you that Eren and his gang have been planning this for a minute, considering that little house that has a well in it. I mean, that doesn't seem supernatural. It doesn't seem like every house has a giant well inside of it, especially designed for Titans. If you want to read into that, you can maybe say that maybe that's planned out as well. But they straight up separated Galliard and Pieck. Let's briefly talk about that. What did you think of that scene?
I think they separated two people. Now they separated Galliard and Pieck, and then
they got Zeke away,
Reiner, and they got Zeke away,
which scared the crap. Zeke is gonna get his head chopped off.
Zeke's dead. Like, I honestly wouldn't.
As soon as they were like, Zeke over here, I was like, bro, you.
That's the thing. They're separating Zeke because he's gone. Like, there's no redemption for Zeke. He's dead.
They remember him. They don't, like, Pieck and Galliard. They're like, we kind of remember you,
Yeah.
But Zeke, we clearly remember you. You destroyed the entire Survey Corps. So yes.
Let's talk about Pieck for a little bit, because she's a flirty little person.
Was it flirty? I just see her as like a kind-hearted girl. I didn't see that as flirty. I really feel like she's no, I saw her as like oblivious to like where Galliard was like, hey, you guys, I think you're rubbing him the wrong way or the right way. I don't know. When she was like, oh, they're just my friends. I didn't see that as like, I just see her as being like a really, because you saw her beforehand. I don't know, because I saw the episode 3 times.
Yeah.
And you saw her beforehand, like playing with Sophia, where she was like, yeah, Sophia, let's do it. Woo! And she was like cheering on, and she was like tapping her on the back.
She's such a, I could take like the happy-go-lucky kind of person.
Yeah, that's what she is.
But just especially when she was like, oh, I think I've seen you before. It's like, I don't want to talk to you. It's like, oh, well, I like your beard. That's why. I was like, I think she I don't think she's dumb. Like, when I say flirty, I don't mean that as like a dumb thing or like a negative connotation. I just think she's also using her feminine wiles to get what she wants as well. Like, for her to be liked by Marleyan soldiers, not just like used or something like that. Like, or she might just be like the happiest go lucky person you've ever met, honestly.
I think that's what it is. I think she's oblivious to it, but I did think that was more like a hint towards us, where it's like, where did she see him before?
It could be on a wanted poster, honestly.
Could be on a wanted poster. Could be when she was there. Did she ever see Armin? I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if they ever directly saw each other, but they for sure have pictures of Armin and Eren. Like, the Marley government for sure has them, because they know Bertolt got captured. Maybe they don't know if, who ate the Colossal Titan, but they're like, these are the people that were the survivors of this battle in Shiganshina. And maybe, I don't know. I like, honestly, like, if she ever saw him before,
I understand that point, but also why is there a well in the living room of a house? It's like, okay.
It's probably designed there. I think maybe someone had a plan. Hanji, Armin put their minds together, designed something to trap them once the war was going down. I think this plan has been in effect for a minute. So
it's been a minute. That's the thing. Like, this is not. I honestly realize, like, anyone who saw the after credits, like, knows the shit that is about to go down. And honestly, like, with the way the episode ended, it's about to go down. But honestly, I would be okay with next week's episode being a flashback episode to how the hell they set all this up, because I need to know. I absolutely have to know that.
I feel like this is an echo of Warrior and then Combat or Close Combat. Remember Close Combat in episode 7 of season 2? This is me being a super nerd, but that's when Reiner and Eren fight in season 2.
Yes.
And they do the whole MMA battle.
Yes.
But I think that's what's going to happen next episode, except with like a ton of people in the city. Because when I've seen the episode a few times over, when Eren transforms, the first thing I thought in my head was like, oh crap, like this is going to be Man of Steel all over again.
It's gonna be Annie versus Eren again. Like you say Close Combat. Like, this closer to me than, they fought in the center of all 3 walls.
City,
toppling like full churches and everything,
and buildings and people dying left and right and rocks hitting people. This is gonna be like straight up Zod versus Superman, Man of Steel style. A lot of casualties. You saw someone briefly, I don't know if you caught this, Ben, in the background get hit by a rock.
All their troubles are over because everyone's like, oh, and you just see this poor stab just like,
so right away. I think that was a hint to the carnage that we're gonna see next week, because we didn't see anyone die besides that guy, besides maybe Tybur, but that was it. And then I was like, but there's gonna be probably hundreds, if not thousands,
and especially with how they went out of their way to be like, so much Marley brass is here, all the commanders are here, all the newspapers are here, so many dignitaries, like they went out of their way to say that. So I was like, everybody's gonna die right now. Like, and I think Eren knows that, and I think Eren is just there, like they meticulously plan this out. Now Eren's gonna let everything loose. Nothing is off the table now.
I also want to echo something in the chat real quick. Sincere Elementary, I think is what it's called. Sincere Elementary. Sorry, my reading is really bad. My eyesight, I mean. He says, if you guys read the manga, we have not. So obviously, please, if anyone is joining us for the first time, welcome to Attack on Titan. We're talking about episode 5. Yes, full spoilers for the episode and for everything we've seen in the past, but not for the manga. So please bear with us. We are not manga
anime readers. Only chatting here.
Anime only chat, anime only fans, but we love this anime. So please join us as usual. But yes, to me, I think this is going to be a ton of carnage, to the point that I was like, wait a minute, Ben, Reiner's mom is in the crowd. Like, are we going to go there? Are we going to go full eye for eye here? Like, this is going to be some dark stuff.
Well, we got Annie's father. My mom. That was a cool little conversation. And I mean, he's not wrong. Annie's still alive, technically, as far as we know.
Yeah. I love when he said, oh, my daughter's not dead. Stop with that. Straight up, like, he knows she's not dead.
He trained her before the military even looked at her, so he knows. And Annie's a freak of nature. Like, I don't know what's going to kill her, honestly.
I have theories too. I don't know if I want to get there yet, but I want to briefly ask you the question I asked you before. Are we going to go full dark when it comes to Reiner's mom? She's in the crowd, man.
I think everybody in that crowd is going to die. Because honestly,
Gabby, Udo, them too?
I think some of the kids might make it out
too. Yeah.
Because I think Reiner dove to protect Falco, which we can talk about Reiner's selflessness later.
Those two are safe, in my opinion.
Yeah, those two are safe.
Galliard and Pieck.
Gabby might survive. Gabby might survive just because that's kind of the rivalry we've gotten is Falco and Gabby. So I think Gabby will be safe. I don't think this show is the anime version of Walking Dead. Nobody is safe. It is the anime version of Game of Thrones. Literally nobody is safe, until if they ever move this show past the manga, like Benioff and Weiss did, move past the books, then people will be safe and survive massive attacks by White Walkers and somehow not die. But I don't I see maybe Gabby surviving. That's it. I think Falco's brother dead. I think Eren is trying to end everybody right now, because don't forget, they're all sitting with the Marley generals and brass and leadership. So Eren's gonna do one big swipe and be gone,
which they deserve, to be honest. But my thing too is I feel like the more deep we get into this anime, the more dark the results come out, because I can't lie to you, man. I think back to season 1, I think back to Eren versus Annie, and I think back to me flipping off Annie, flipping off my screen every time I got the chance when they did an Annie flashback or when they did an Annie POV, and I was like, F you, Annie. Like, when Annie twirled that guy, I forget his name, I'm sorry, but when she was straight up twirling the homie, but
dude,
like,
evil.
I was like, she's evil. She's straight up psychotic. And now, are we gonna get this twisted, dark Annie is the savior? She comes out of nowhere, pops out of her diamond shell, sails across the ocean, comes over this wrecked, nuclear bomb of Marley and saves Marley as like the warrior that, everyone wanted her to be. Is that this dark, twisted ending that we're going to get to Attack on Titan?
I think Annie would get wrecked now, though.
You think so?
Okay. I think, one, if Levi's there, Annie's getting wrecked again.
Okay.
And 2, I think after 4 years of Eren having his Attack Titan.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
training is,
because Eren, he didn't beat her, like he was, like limping and, arms torn off and stuff like that. But
his rage beat her.
Yeah, his rage beat her. But I think his training now would beat Annie for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I did notice that as well, where I do feel like Eren is so next level right now. He's got the combination of the founding Titan, the attack Titan, the training of Levi, the craziness of the experiments of Hanji. So he probably knows some tricks as far as healing and all that.
And they have the Thunder Spears now too.
And they have the Thunder Spears, and he has all the memories of the past attack Titans. Like, the guy is probably like elite level fighter right now, like straight up, like no one can beat him except maybe Warhammer. I don't know if
Warhammer. We're gonna find out. But yeah, just Eren, like, who is this Eren Yeager? Because I do not recognize him. I do not recognize the man that points out. I do not recognize the man that points out that there are innocent women and children above him to stop Reiner from transforming, and then he's the one that transforms and kills all of them.
Yeah. No, to me, this is Eren Yeager, episode 1, season 1, baby.
Yeah.
This is Eren. This has always been Eren, man. I don't see it as any different. I really do feel like this is straight up Eren being like, oh yeah, I told you I was going to kill you all, and I'm going to kill you all. I'm keeping my word. Straight up taking Eren.
Watching this for the second time, that stuck out to me as like, remember when Reiner was like, remember when you said I was going to kill you guys in the most brutal way possible? And Eren's like, oh yeah, I did say that. Like, he doesn't even remember. Like, I feel like the next thing, like, old Eren would have brought that up first thing. Like, Reiner would have walked in and be like, remember when I said I was going to kill you in the worst way possible? Here it goes. And would have transformed right there, and would have been shouting and crying. Now, Eren, like, there's no rage. This is not personal. This is business for Eren now. And like, it's chilling to think about that this is the person Eren has become. And I feel like we kind of got that right at the end of season 3, where he's like standing in the ocean and he's like, yeah, we made it, but now there's enemies across the sea. And we got that one moment where all of Eren's emotions are just gone. Like, I think all of his emotions got left in Shing and China when he saw the entire Survey Corps die, when he was begging for Armin's life. I think old Eren died right there. And just because, I mean, even when he killed Bertolt, he's like, gotcha. Like, he was like, emotion, like, we won. But now it's just like, let me shake your hand. It was like, it was like a Django Unchained moment where, it's like, let me shake your hand, and he's going to shoot him in the heart. He's going to shake his hand, and he's going to transform and murder thousands of people.
Yeah, but then he quoted Reiner back at him right when he transformed. So there's a little savage in him too.
There is, man.
Where he straight up is like, he winked at him and he's like, right, Reiner? Winked at you? I'm going to kill you all, baby. And he straight up like did the whole psych. That's the wrong number. And then the crowd, he falls in the crowd. But that's kind of what he pulled. He pulled the whole, like, you know, you killed my mom.
Well, like he said that, like, we're the same. And he's like, you didn't have a choice. And neither do I. Like, he's like, maybe I am the enemy of the world. Maybe I am death and chaos. Like, we know whatever the quote was. And then he was like, I've accepted it. And then oh my God. Like, I want to bring that moment up because I have the episode pulled up to get that screenshot because I want to bring that moment up because it's just like, this show is just too effing good, man.
Yeah. It's so dark, man. It's crazy how dark we're going right when we're talking about peace and talking about moving on and moving forward. The episode just stabs you in the heart.
Yeah,
really,
and don't worry, we don't have the audio on, so I don't have the audio on, so you know we won't get
yeah, if it's just like 10 seconds or 30 seconds, we should be fine of us just without the audio.
I want you to join me in the fight again, and that's Tybur saying that. I want you to join me in the fight against the Devils of Paradise Island, and he picks him up off the ground.
It looks like they're shaking hands too.
Yeah.
So straight up, like, yo, we good, fam.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's where he quoted Reiner. I was like, he quoted Reiner.
Okay, so that moment right there, is that the founding Titan? Because I want to get into that. Because they talk about how the founding Titan created millions and millions and millions of colossal Titans to build the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And so does Eren now have
control,
some control over the founding Titan?
I think he found a way. I don't know how. Maybe it's some weird science experiment kind of way where he's taking, I don't know, something from Historia, some sort of, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe she needs a piece of her DNA. This is me stretching.
Yeah.
Like a strand of her hair or something.
Maybe here we go.
A strand of Historia's hair. And somehow that, you know, touching that, it counts as touching her, which means he can control the Titan. This is me going real far. But you never know, right? Maybe that's what it is. As far as, you know, when he touches her, he has control of the founding Titan's powers. Maybe that's a way to get control without killing her and without, you know, eating her either.
But the only reason I say that is because, like, we've only seen those eyes with, you know, the flashbacks of like Historia, Rice, and
they're purple.
You know,
they're purple too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his are green, which obviously is green eyes, which means obviously that his founding Titan isn't the same as like the purple, crazy, you know, internal founding.
Eren has blue eyes, right? Does Eren have blue eyes?
I think he has green eyes. I think those are pretty green. Okay. Yeah. So to me, yeah, I think it is the founding Titan. When they showed the image, and I gave it to you, man. I don't know if you want to bring it up. When they showed the image of the colossal Titans, just straight up just walking in slow motion. I low-key had the same reaction as the people in the crowd, and I was like, yo, that's not a good sign. Giving Eren this kind of power, like Reiner said in season 2, that is the worst person to give this power to. Reiner was right, because this guy will trample the world if he has to. This is the kind of guy who will burn the world down if he has to. Yeah, I do feel like that moment was a scary moment when Tybur reminded us all that there really are Titans in the wall, and they all happen to be colossal Titans. Which means,
and so he could awaken them at any moment.
Yeah, which means it'll be pure destruction.
Yeah,
and slow destruction. Like, my God, it won't even be quick.
No, like you'll see your doom coming and be helpless to stop it.
Yeah, this is The Walking Dead if they were 100 meters high.
And tens of millions of them. Yeah. That's the crazy thing is, like, because I was trying to do that math, like, is it really? And I was like, oh yeah, because like the huge outer wall, the inner wall, like and like 3 of them, it's crazy amount. And that's what I'm wondering is that if they found a way to get, because, you know, Eren knows he has the founding Titan with the memories. And so I know he's probably been able to access that, but I'm wondering what other powers the founding Titan has. And it's just, there's just limitless potential to what could happen. But again, I go back to this because when 2 weeks ago, when we saw Eren and Reiner were going to meet, and now with the way this episode ends, do you think it's only going to be a 12 episode season? Because it seems like shit is about to hit the fan truly and possibly end in this moment.
Here's what I think is going to happen. And I think someone might have said this in the chat. I think they're going to go to 16 that is currently planned now. I think they're going to go back to wait for the manga to be done. I still think the manga is not done yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I still think the manga has a little bit to go. I think someone mentioned this in the chat. And then from there, once the manga's over, which I think finishes this year, they're going to go back and have to animate the very, very end. So I think we're going to get a part 1 and a part 2, but they're going to probably be like a year and a half apart, or a year apart, because it takes a minute to animate all that.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. I think we're going to get a season 4 part 1 and a season 4 part 2, 16 episodes in part 1, which is currently what Zaren, Gabriel in the chat
16?
said.
Okay.
16. I think that's going to be part 1. I still don't think you can hit 16 and finish this whole story. And I still think, the manga has 4 chapters left. So I think they're going to wait for the manga to finish. These 16 are already made. They're already been watched by executive producers and all that. So this is already done. And then they're going to release those 16, and that's season 4, part 1. And then they're going to wait for the manga to finish and then go back in the studio, write and direct season 4, part 2, which will come out probably sometime next year or even further down. So who knows? That's my speculation as far as me being an anime watcher and an anime person.
How long is a manga chapter for anyone? You guys are saying 3 to 4 chapters left. How is that, like a normal sized comic book? Because I feel like that wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you can make an episode, 4 episodes out of 4 chapters. I just don't know. I've never read manga, so I don't know how long a manga chapter is.
Well, there's 4 chapters left, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's. They've animated everything.
They've animated up to the 4 chapter. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they're probably way ahead. Like stuff that they're probably not even going to do this season. That these manga readers are reading.
For sure, that makes sense.
My speculation. So I think that's what they're going to do, and I think that's the most frustrating thing on the planet.
Right?
As an anime-only watcher, I have to wait another a year and a half, 2 years to watch this whole thing. Like right when we thought we were going to get it in 2021, it's like. Psych, we're going to get another season 4 part 2.
We said final season, but we didn't say what part of the final season you're getting.
That's what season 3 part 1 and 2 does as well, where it's 2 parts. I like the 2 parts thing, but they're usually separated by 3 months or 2 months. I think this one is going to have to be separated by at least a year. Sure. Yeah, at least a year, if not more, because of the people in the chat are saying, because of the chapters left in the manga series.
Yeah, if it's not even finishing till April, I'm sure they've started and they're waiting for those 4 chapters to come out. So I'm sure production has begun, but they got to wait.
But everything is leading toward ultimate destruction. At least that's where I'm seeing it. I don't see this ending nice, man. I really do feel like the more I think about it, man, the more I'm trying to really digest this whole thing, chew on this whole thing. Just because, obviously there's, I don't want to go on Attack on Titan Twitter because I'm afraid to get spoiled. So this is my Attack on Titan Twitter. It's me and you.
It is.
What do you think, man? Do you feel like Eren is bad? Is he the bad guy? Is he the good guy?
What? Okay, so, but the thing is, we had this, and that's what this show is doing to us. We don't know, besides maybe the Marleys are bad. The Marleys are for sure bad. But outside of that, it's all perspective. Are the Tyburs bad? That's what I want to know. Are the Tyburs have they been just, they've been holding on to this truth for so long and letting, the warriors go to Paradis, letting them kill 250,000 people by breaking down the walls and disturbing the peace and basically stopping the cycle from continuing? Because I wonder if they hadn't done that, did Eren's dad just eat the founding Titan right after the walls got taken, or was it right before? Because he leaves after. He's like, when I come back, I'm going to show you the basement, and then that day is when the walls fall down.
He ate it after, because he was talking about his wife and all that jazz, and he could stop this. I think that just happened too, because he said the walls were being torn down, and the king could stop it if he wanted to. But you still haven't answered my question, man. Is Eren the bad guy or is he the good guy?
Eren's not the bad guy. Eren is not the bad guy. I don't think Eren's out of control. I think this is purely meticulously planned. I think Rage Eren is completely gone. You know what? And we may see a flashback of someone evacuating the building above him. We may see that, or we may not. And we may have, like, I don't think we're gonna see it. It's like, in Batman v Superman. Oh, they landed on so-and-so island. Well, it's empty. It's like, okay, thanks for that, like, throwaway line to let us know everybody's okay. It's like, oh, they're back at LexCorp. Oh, don't worry, it's after hours. Like, oh, there's no cleaning crew there. Okay, got it. Thanks, guys.
That's not happening in the show, man.
That's not happening in the show. But I do think we're gonna get those episodes of them arguing about that, and Hanji just being like, these are acceptable losses. Like, if we need to get this close, we cannot miss this opportunity. Everyone is gonna be there. This is our Inglorious Bastards moment of, like, is everybody in this, Nazi crowd a bad person? Maybe not, but they're associated enough to where they're gonna burn down or explode in this theater.
Yeah, pulled out the what are those guns called that they use in the movie?
Oh, I know. Oh, dang it! I play too much Call of Duty. I should know this, but
yeah, those guns.
They're not Tommy guns, but yeah.
Pull those guns out, and that's Eren right now.
It really is, and like, we're in this moment, and just like, I'm so curious of what the Warhammer Titan is going to be. What makes it so powerful that the Tyburs are Eldians, but literally rule the Marley government, and dictate their every move? That's so much so that they moved this rally to an internment camp. Like, what a weird venue that only the Tyburs could do, that they put it in the Eldian internment camp to talk about how to get all.
Yeah, no, keep going. I'm sorry, man.
Just to get everybody there, to get all, going back to, Inglorious, get all the eggs in one nasty basket. And you think security would be tighter, but it wasn't. And it's because they're so deep in their homeland. Like, I can honestly, they're so deep and in this internment camp where it's like, nothing's going to happen. We have all these people under our heel. Even the people that could transform and kill us, they're on our side because they're so brainwashed.
Here's my thing, man. I think we're going. That's a good point too, because I still feel like maybe there's a little dabbling there too when it comes to, like, they wouldn't attack us in their own, internment camp, would they? And it sure enough they did. As far as setting it there, as far as Eren being willing to kill Eldians as well. But it's one of those things, man, where I there's going to be this whole, there's not really a bad guy, right? And I still think there is. I'm sorry. I think there is. And I really think it's clear and cut. And I think anyone who watches this can see it. And I get the Reiner side. I really do. And it's not necessarily me saying Eren is right, Reiner is wrong, because I'm obviously the Reiner guy. And I feel like he has his perspective too. But the show is very clear in telling you that Reiner is an Eldian, that Reiner is discriminated against just as much as anyone else, even though he is their weapon, but he's not necessarily treated as a human being. I think the Marleys are clearly the bad guys.
Yes.
I think as much as I've quoted First Class, as I've talked this show, this is going full First Class. This is truly Magneto. I think Eren is Magneto. I think Eren has truly seen the evil of the world, just like Magneto saw in internment camps, literally, in the movie, because Magneto grew up in an internment camp in Germany, in Nazi Germany, and he's like, yo, these are Nazis, these are people, they deserve to die. And that's how he feels about the way that the humanity discriminates against the mutants. And right now you could be like, yeah, but Magneto is a famous villain. Is he though?
Like, they always say that Professor X was Martin Luther King and Magneto was Malcolm X. Like, they're fighting for this.
Yeah, exactly. That's absolutely true. That's straight up from Stan Lee. But the problem is, Ben, Malcolm X was right, bro. Like, Malcolm X did a lot of good, and Malcolm X really did push a lot of thoughts that were actually really relevant, especially nowadays when it comes to the kind of destruction we're seeing from police officers, where we can now see that obviously Martin Luther King paved the way towards a lot of good things, but Malcolm X did as well. And I'm not saying that necessarily good or bad, but I am saying he did a lot of good. Like, he really did. And it's really interesting how I think that's where Eren's perspective is at. And I don't know. We'll see what happens in these coming episodes. Obviously, I haven't read the manga, so I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this video. But I do feel like
there's no hate, not at all.
I feel like this plan, it might seem a little bit extra, but maybe it's good. I don't know, Ben. Maybe it's me being optimistic.
Okay. So you're saying Eren is the Magneto and possibly the villain of this. What is their alternative? What are the if the Paradises weren't there, the Tyburs are on their way with every army of the world.
That's true.
Every army of the world and 4 Titans. Or no, wait. 4 Titans and including the war, so what Titans they have? They have the cart, the armor, the Beast Titan, the Warhammer Titan, and the Jaw Titan. So they have 5 Titans. So 5 Titans, every army of the world coming to destroy 250,000 people. Like they have they are they're Israel surrounded by this is their war surrounded by enemies. And I don't want to get into that whole political thing.
Yeah, we are. We've already have with me talking about politics.
But it's just it is them against the world right now. So if they have to first strike this thing and wipe everybody out with collateral damage, they didn't get asked to be in this war. They were living peacefully on their island. There was corrupt government and everything like that going on behind the scenes, but they were literally getting their memory erased to keep them docile little cattle. And so they couldn't advance their technology enough to figure out what was going on beyond the walls. They were just they were just living in this cycle of hey, we get up, we explore outside the walls, we all die, we retreat. We get up, we explore, we die, we retreat.
And it's going to keep happening.
And it was going to keep happening until Eren's dad came from the outside, knowing the truth, and said, nope, I'm taking the Founding Titan. I'm giving it to my son. And something's going to change. I don't know what's going to change because Grisha didn't even try to be the Founding Titan. He was like, no, I'm giving this to my son. He is the future generation. He has this drive in him. And, he's like, my son isn't you. He's special. He's special. And he's going to do something with this power. And so it's easy. I can see your point of view saying that Eren can be the villain right here and can be dark, but what choice do they have?
No, you're right. And I'm not necessarily saying he's the villain. I'm just saying from his perspective, everything that he's done justifies the kind of perspective that he currently has against the Marleys as far as the whole Magneto thing. That's more of what I'm saying, not necessarily villain or bad guy, because I don't think he's necessarily the bad guy. My thing too is I'm trying to reach, maybe just because this is who I am, I'm trying to reach endgame here. And by endgame, I don't mean the movie. I just mean what's the endgame? Yeah. Is the endgame wipe out the Marleys or wipe out the Marley military or the top Marleys? Try and is he going to plan to erase the memories of the Eldians to get rid of the brainwashing? Because they're still brainwashed. They still think they're devils. So maybe that's a plan as far as him being all right, for step 1, wipe them out. Step 2, wipe their memories, and then retrain them to make them feel like they're human again. Is that what do you think of that?
Honestly, I think it's a quick strike, and then they're going to go back to the island. Is my guess.
Yeah, but then it that's the cycle repeating itself again. Isn't it? Thing,
but then on top of that, if they come in and now they've got the cart and the Jaw Titan trapped, and they're supposedly about to eat the Warhammer Titan, so that's 3 gone right there. That's 3 out of, and so all that's left is the armor and the beast, and the Beast Titan
is gone too.
Exactly, the Beast Titan is gone as well. So they literally, it's just Reiner that's supposedly, if their plan is gonna go perfect. Eren literally probably said, I'm going to let Reiner choose because I see where he's coming from. I'm going to let him choose. And maybe Eren's transformation, he planned to kill Reiner right there because, Pieck and Galliard were like, yeah, if one of us transforms down here, we both die. We'll both get crushed to death. So let's not do that. So he could be planning on Reiner dying right there, protecting Falco. We don't know that. And so I think this is a one clean sweep strike where they get rid of everybody, and then they're going to go back to the island, control all the Titans, literally have every Titan in their back pocket, and be like, try and come over here, and we'll kill you, but we're going to live our lives, and we're going to be fine.
Yeah, but I feel like that it wouldn't that just ignite them more to go over there and to wipe them out again?
But they could destroy the dock. You know, they could leave. They'd probably build a settlement on the beach with, you know, whoever has the colossal titan or whatever titan they want to put at the beachhead. And you know what Reiner was saying is that only the dock is the only landable place. And they've sent, you know, legions and legions of ships there that have been destroyed. And that was only when they had 2 titans, let alone all 9.
Yeah, it's so many layers to this, right? Because you think about the plans. Because I keep thinking about endgame as far as like, do you know, wipe these people out? Maybe leave one of the Marleys there. Maybe have a kid or someone that you have planned out to eat one of these warriors so that they can stay there and kind of keep the peace, or keep the Eldian way, if that's another way to say keep the peace. Is something to not keep the same internment camp, the same discrimination over and over and over again. Otherwise, it's never going to end, right? I feel like Eren has to think of that. He can't just say, hey, I'm going to wipe them out, peace. I think he has to say, like, yeah, I'm going to wipe them out, but what about the Eldians everywhere else?
I thought that until he transformed, Ace. Because he literally said, I brought you down here because there's an apartment building above us. I've eaten with you. I've lived with you. We are the same person. And then he transformed and killed everybody.
Yeah.
So I'd agree with that. I'd love for Eren to be like, you know, make a speech and be like, all right, all the Eldians that want to come with us, get on this boat because we leaving and we're never coming back. If you want to stay here and get persecuted for the rest of your life, peace. But I don't think they give a shit, honestly. So Eren does have some darkness in him for sure. Like, I'm not denying that whatsoever. And I, you know, again, the optimist in me is like, oh yeah, Mikasa was in there evacuating everybody. No one did. Oh yeah, Eren's going to tell, you know, make a big speech and be like, come with us to the island. I don't think that's going to happen.
Nope.
That is not that kind of show.
Especially after Tybur's speech. And especially after Eren eats him in front of everyone. Like, everybody. My God. You imagine like a speech to the world where this guy is like, there's a giant demon devil that controls powerful titans, so millions and millions, and they could destroy the planet. And then he pops out and eats the guy.
It'd be like Dwayne The Rock Johnson making this speech, who's like the most beloved person on the planet. And then right at the end, he's like, oh, like it'd be like, oh, Kevin Hart is this demon seed and we got to get rid of him. And then Kevin Hart pops up behind him and kills him. It's like, what?
Yeah, it would be kind of insane seeing an actual titan sprout up from the ground and like pop up and eat someone. Like, it straight up is like devil. Like when they say devil or demon, that's kind of what it is.
It's like he literally dispelled the like all the rhetoric and, you know, propaganda of like, oh, King Fritz, oh this, like it doesn't matter. That's done. That was all a lie, but forget about it. We actually have a true enemy now, and that's Eren Yeager. Who's gonna join me in the fight? He's standing right behind me, isn't he? Like, it was like almost like a comedy moment where it's like, he's right behind me, isn't he? It was like one of those moments, and it came true. And it's like, so that's the thing, is that even the biggest optimist in me, even if, you know, Hanji or Armin made this grandiose speech of like, hey, get off this mainland, come live with us on this island, and we have all the titans, no one's ever gonna bother us again. I don't think any Eldians are coming with them.
Yeah, no way. I mean, my thing too is like Eren is Eren, bro. Like, as much as you say Eren has changed, I still see little Eren there. I still see Eren season 1. I still see burn down the world Eren. I still see kill all the titans Eren. He is the kind of guy who, like he said, like he really did say it in that last 2 seconds of the scene we showed, where he tells Reiner, he's like, hey man, keep moving forward, right? And by keep moving forward, I mean destroy all my enemies. And he straight up like changes. And I was like, oh yeah. There he is. The Eren who's the kind of guy who screams at the top of his lungs at everything and everyone and is constantly yelling and cussing everyone out and literally wants to kill everyone that stands in his way. That's what Eren has always been, but that's kind of why he's one of the most split as far as like when people don't like him. Protagonist in anime, a lot of people don't like Eren because of that, and a lot of people do like Eren because of that. I've always said that that's kind of relatable, if I'm being honest. Like, that's what makes Eren so relatable. I've joked about it in the past as far as like Eren is like my anime version of myself. Like, dude, if I lived in Attack on Titan world, you bet your ass I would be an Eren. I would not be like, yo, let's try and talk it out. Like, I'd be like, bro, you killed my mom. I'm gonna kill you all, bro. It's done. Like, I would be Eren. There's no ands, if, or buts about it. But yeah. But that is the problem with giving him ultimate power. Is like, crap. It is Eren, and he does have ultimate power. This isn't Armin.
That's what Reiner said. He was like, and Reiner, who came the closest to loving everybody in the Survey Corps and was like a big brother to everybody. He was like, the last person I would ever want to have this power is you. And like, that's the thing, like, it wasn't like, I don't want any Paradiser to have this power. It's like, you personally, I hate you.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because if you would imagine what Historia would be like if she had it, or someone else. I mean, obviously we know that Armin has the Colossal, but even Armin is like, you just never know what he's going to do. So yeah, man. I mean, obviously I'm going to pull up some stuff in my notes right now, but any other thoughts that you want to hit on?
Dude, just everything about like the tension building, just like, honestly, we talk about the story all the time and the characters, but just like the filmmaking of this episode was so perfect. I was like, okay, I think that's Armin. That's definitely, someone in the squad. Come on. And then, you see Pieck, you run off and you're like, no, come back. Go to the trap. Go to the trap. Okay, Falco, don't do anything. Don't do anything stupid, Falco. Like, the tension of everything building to this one moment was so well done. And it wasn't the most eventful episode. It wasn't, there's so just how this season is going. I feel like we say it every week, but we cannot understand how good this show is. Just like, this is such peak. Like, I'm an anime noob, but just, oh, my baby Yoda fell down. Yeah. I'm an anime noob, but just like, this is top tier show running, like, regardless of what live action, animation, drama, network, Netflix, whatever you want to put it. Like, this is the cream of the crop right here. And I can't say that enough.
You know what it is, Ben? It's cinema.
It's cinema.
It's cinema. It's cinematic. I rewatched a couple episodes of season 2 and season 3 this last week in preparation of this episode, because, to be honest, Ben, this is kind of all I'm watching right now. This and basketball, that's it, and a little bit of football games, and that's it. Like, I'm not watching anything else, and I should be watching more movies, but instead I'm rewatching Attack on Titan. And I can't tell you, man, it's cinematic. That's what it is. It's pacing, story, music, tension, building, the release, the conclusion, the battle. Like, that is Attack on Titan. It's the most cinematic thing I've ever seen. And it's not even like a movie or a live action. It's actual animation. And I think it's one of the most cinematic things I've ever seen. And I think it's not talked about enough how cinematic this thing truly is, which is why I always imagine this in live action and how epic it could potentially be, but I just don't feel it would ever reach this type of epicness. And
that's the thing, is that, like, it would be a cheap carbon copy of this, because I've gotten all the emotion I can handle out of these voice actors in the animation, and I just, but that's the thing is, it's such like a catch-22. It's like, I wouldn't want to see like the same thing, but then, if you strayed anything away, I'd be like, no, this isn't what this is. So I'm so glad we're getting this. And, people are saying in the chat, like, poor Falco thought he had made a friend, thought that he was helping, this wounded war veteran who didn't have a family, and like how betrayed he must feel. But that right there, because they're 1 year away from choosing who gets the new Titan or something like that. Like, how much time does Reiner have? Like 1 year?
Zeke has 1 year. I think Reiner said he had 3 years left, 2 years left.
Oh, they're 3 years away. Okay. But just like, that's how, like, we forget that these are children. These are actual children being like child soldiers in the most like straightforward way you've ever seen, that they were being brainwashed in every single way. And so much so that the child's eventually going to come out. They're like, oh yeah, I'm helping this war veteran. He's mailing letters to his family. Yeah. Wait, what? Like,
that's probably the most messed up thing Eren did throughout this whole episode, if I'm being honest, is betray Falco. I did feel bad. I was like, Eren, what about Falco, bro? Like, he did not care about Falco at all.
No, he did not care.
I mean, he apologized. He was like, sorry, Falco, but if you die, you die. Like, that's just facts, man.
Oh yeah, he transformed right next to him. He didn't give a shit about Falco.
Oh no, he was like, if he dies, he dies, but I apologize.
Yeah.
Like straight up, he was like, I feel kind of bad, but not really. Yeah, I did feel bad for Falco for sure. And honestly, Reiner, man, when Reiner started to like straight up be like super PTSD Reiner, and he started to break down and just like grab his face and be like, oh my God, like, dude, I'm done. Just kill me, bro. Like straight up, like
Reiner's straight up done. Like I even if he said like I will fight, the Tyburs or whoever's left after this episode, he's just, and I don't say this negatively, but he's just a broken man. Well, like he has so much PTSD and so much trauma in his life of everything that he's done, from breaking down the wall and the guilt he has with that, to betraying his friends on the island, to his literal battle scars of fighting Mikasa in the Scout Regiment, to let alone the next 4 years where he fought the Middle Eastern forces and, all the terrible things he probably had to do then and all the men he had to kill there. So just so much has traumatized Reiner that he's just a broken man. And it's so sad to see, but he's still such a selfless person.
Reiner definitely is that guy. I think we're going to see it come back, though. I don't know why. Maybe just because I'm an optimist. I feel like we're going to see this weird, final, like I said, like a final breath of Reiner where he just does something crazy.
I think he will be like his official redemptive moment. I think we are going to see the redemption of Reiner in this season, and I'm really, really excited to see it. I'm curious to see what it's going to be. If it's going to be a redeeming thing for his family, killing the Paradis or demons, or if it's going to be an overall redemption of like him killing the Marley government, or teaming up with Eren to defeat the Warhammer Titan or something that.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely find out what's going to happen. The final thing I want to say, when you said this is Pieck, I was like, this is Pieck.
Yeah, it's Pieck, absolutely.
This is Pieck, bro. When she hugged that guy, I was like, I want to be that guy. No, I'm playing. I'm halfway playing. Either way,
you're halfway playing.
I'm halfway playing, bro. I tweeted about Pieck like episode 1. The first time I saw her, I was like, I have different thoughts about the Card Titan. Thoughts are now, I'm confused. But by the way, speaking of that squad, I kept thinking about why are they bringing this? Who cares about these guys? But then I thought, like, what if they hinted at them being nearby? What if that's how they get out of the well? And maybe they start wrecking shop too. Maybe those guys.
Well, that's the unit that is on top of her, like, shooting the machine guns. So very well could be.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, why are they bringing up these guys? But by the third watch, I was like, oh, what if she and Galliard are like, help in the well, and those guys were nearby, and they can somehow pull them out of the well.
Then that's the thing, is that I think that Eren's gonna eat Big Tybur, but I think that the Warhammer Titan is somebody else. And I think that the plan is gonna start going wrong. And Pieck and Galliard are going to get out of that hole and join the fight.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think maybe that's why they talked about that squad, because otherwise I was like, this is a weird.
I think you're right on that one. I think they're going to be the ones to find them.
Yeah. Either way, guys, thank you so much, everyone in the chat. I still have a hard time looking at you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you guys more love later on. I swear.
It's nerve-wracking for sure. Like, I keep looking at it and glancing away, but no, you guys, as much as I've been looking at the chat today, you guys have been awesome. Where some people even said, like, I've read the manga, no spoilers, but I'm loving all the theories. So I thank you guys. I wanted to say that every single week, because you guys have been so awesome and patient with us, because I'm sure some of our theories are completely wrong, and I thank you for not telling us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Everyone in the chat, Zarin, who else do I see? Helsing's in there, Raven's in there. All you guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. As I said before at the start of the episode, we now have a Patreon at First Cut Studios. Go support us there. We have a Discord where I'm going to be popping off a lot about Attack on Titan, so you can join our Discord there. That's the first tier you can join. And Ben Goddard, where can everyone find you?
Patreon.com/the Ben Goddard, Twitch, everything at the Ben Goddard, guys. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. Go check all of them out, guys. I promise you won't find a more welcoming community than the Bandit Brigade. We have a lot of fun over there, so be sure to check it out. And thanks, I can't tell you how much I love every Sunday. I just get to splurge every single Attack on Titan thought I've ever had over the last 7 years, and just get it all out in an hour.
It's the same for me, man. You're literally the only guy I know who watches Attack on Titan. So,
like even my roommate, we used to talk about it, and now he's just like, I even asked him at like 1 o'clock when the episode dropped. I was like, "Do you want to?" He's like, I'll watch it later. I was like, what's wrong with you? Did you see what happened last week?
Yeah, my roommate's also way behind too, and I'm just like, dude, no, it's not the same. I need the love, I need the theories, I need all that jazz to just get it out of my system. But thank you so much for joining me, man. I really do appreciate you, and obviously everyone in the chat, as I said before. You can follow me at Squad Leader Race on Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, I'm going to be tweeting even more about Attack on Titan, especially after this episode. So make sure you go check out Squad Leader Race on Twitter, and check us out at First Cut TMO on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for talking about Attack on Titan with us. For the Attack on Titan crew, we are peacing out. Peace.
Peace.